Today, we're going to talk about how to get truly amazing results from AI. But here's the secret. It's not about finding a smarter AI. Nope, it's about you becoming a much better teacher. Let's dive in. You've been there, right? Of course you have. You ask the AI a question, you're expecting something brilliant, and what you get back is, well, it's generic, unhelpful, or sometimes just flat out wrong. It is so frustrating. But what if I told you the problem isn't the AI? It's how we're asking. And this is the core idea for today, the big mind shift. We need to stop thinking of ourselves as just a user typing commands and start thinking of ourselves as a teacher. Imagine the AI as your student. It's incredibly bright, super capable, but it really needs your guidance to get the A+. Okay, so let's start there. Let's diagnose the problem. What is going on inside our AI student's head when it gives us one of those terrible answers? Well, here's the thing you got to remember. The AI doesn't actually know things the way we do. It's a pattern matching machine. So just like a student who's kind of afraid to say, I don't know, it'll sometimes just make something up. It gives its best guess based on all the data it's seen. This is what we call hallucinating, and as the teacher in the room, it's our job to gently guide it away from that. So, how do we stop these hallucinations? How do we get better answers? Well, it all starts with the absolute foundation of good teaching. Giving our AI student crystal clear instructions. And what I love about this is how simple these rules are, but man, are they powerful. First, you gotta provide context. Don't just ask for questions on geography. Second, limit the output. Don't say, give me some, say, give me exactly 10 questions. And third, be so specific. Paris and London is always gonna get you a better answer than just a vague Europe. If you can just master these 3 basic things, I promise you, the quality of your results will shoot way up, like immediately. Okay, so you've got the basics down. Now we get to the fun part. Let's get into our first advanced technique. This is where we stop just giving instructions and we actually start teaching the AI how to think. Now, take a look at this pretty simple math problem. You and we can solve this in a few seconds in our head. But let's see what happens when we give this exact prompt to an AI. And it gets it wrong. The AI says 5, which is the number she started with. It completely missed all the steps in the middle. The correct answer, of course, is 1. So, see, the AI didn't fail at math. It failed because we never taught it the process. And this is where this amazing technique called chain of thought prompting comes into play. The whole idea is so simple. Before you ask your real question, you walk the AI through a similar problem, showing your logic step by step. You're literally showing your work to teach it the thinking process you want it to copy. So here's how you do it. First, you give it a similar example, like a different problem about Lisa and her apples. Then you literally show the step-by-step calculation. You write it all out. And only after you've shown it how to reason through a problem do you then re-ask the original question about Alice. And would you look at that? Just like that, it nails it. The AI follows the pattern you laid out and correctly answers 1. See, by modeling the process, you didn't just get an answer, you actually taught it how to solve the problem. This is a total game changer for any kind of task that requires logical steps. But hey, what if the problem isn't about logic? What if it's about pure knowledge? Sometimes our AI student fails simply because it doesn't have the right textbook in front of it. So, let's fix that. This brings us to a technique with a really fancy name, Retrieval Augmented Generation, or just RAG for short. But the idea behind it is so simple. If you want the AI to use specific information, you just have to give it that information right in the prompt. It's basically like giving your student an open book test. You're handing them the study guide. This comparison right here just shows it all perfectly. On the left, a generic prompt gets you a generic list of insurance types. Totally useless. But look at the right. By simply pasting in a specific product list from an insurance company, the AI gives a targeted, specific recommendation that actually fits the budget. See? You gave it the textbook and it aced the test. Okay, so we've given our AI clear instructions, and we've given it the right study materials. But a really great teacher, they don't stop there. The final crucial step is to check the AI's work and then help it make the answer even better. This slide breaks down 2 really powerful ways to do just that. First up is self-refine. This is where you literally ask the AI to critique its own work. You can say something like, suggest 3 improvements to the code you just wrote. The second one is meiotic prompting. This is how you verify the facts. You force the AI to explain its reasoning by asking, for each step you took, explain it in more detail. You're making sure it actually understands why it gave you that answer. And this quote right here, it just perfectly captures the whole mindset. The first answer you get is almost never the final answer. You're not just a person typing in a prompt anymore. You're a collaborator. You're working with the AI, iterating and refining the output until it is exactly what you need it to be. So let's just put it all together. You now have a complete toolkit to be a super effective AI teacher. You start with clear instructions. Then you teach it how to reason using chain of thought. You provide the right facts using generated knowledge or RAG. And then you refine and verify the final result using self-refine and meiotic prompting. That's the whole playbook. These techniques are incredibly powerful right now, today, but they're also a little glimpse into a whole new way of working and collaborating with AI. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. As we all get better and better at being teachers, what on earth will our AI students be capable of? Thanks for tuning in.